Okay. This is the part where we turn off the phone. Yeah. Okay. And I clear my throat. And then what happens next?
You tell me what day it is.
Why do you have to ruin everything? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
Yo.
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. And hello, everyone! It's my birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yay! I didn't cook up an applause clip or something to play. Oh well, but in the absence of an applause clip to play, I can do this, which is what I'm going to do now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Scribbles. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Scribe.
Oh, isn't that sweet? That's sweet. Thank you, Keever Dam. That was so nice.
That was beautiful.
I know, right? Thank you so much. And speaking of thank yous, thank you, Point Curation. Bon feet. I'm assuming that means happy birthday and not something about my feet.
Sure.
Or bon fete. Bonne fete. I'm sure all the Quebecers out there are really mad at me right now. And thank you, Puddock. Gas buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. Oh, God. Okay, let me try again. Gas buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. Gas buddy, and me. Thank you. Enjoy your gift, YouTuber. I find most honest and relatable. Happy birthday and Dogecat Foxcoin to the moon. Yeah, I should really start my own cryptocurrency. It'd be fun. Also, thank you, Tall Person. Happy birthday, Scribe, and happy National Apple Pie Day for the first time this year. National Apple Pie Day is observed twice a year, with the second time being December 3rd. Huh. People just can't get enough apple pie, I suppose. It's very American, I hear.
The more you know.
I haven't had apple pie in a long time. I should go get some. And thank you, Shoehorn Aplenty. With the Dogcat Fox offering a bone, because that's what Dogcat Fox does best. Right, Satsu?
Indeed.
And thank you, Nick Crowell. Happy birthday. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. And Noble Princess, or should I say Sarah Plyer, thank you so much. Happy birthday to the Lord of Punishment. That's me.
That's him.
Boy, oh boy. And thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people in Lawton. Happy birthday, Scribe. Thank you, Kyle. Oh, my gosh. So I was telling Satsu before the stream that I have a song stuck in my head. And I was singing it, as I want to do before things started. So in the spirit of, it's my birthday and I'll sing if I want to, I'll serenade the audience.
Oh, boy.
Now, this isn't the whole song. This is the part that I have stuck in my head mostly. So I'll just sing that part. And then I'll stop. Maybe.
Get the lighters out, guys.
All right. Why does my heart cry? Feelings I can't hide. You're free to leave me, but just don't deceive me, and please believe me when I say I love you.
Oh man, I love you too, buddy.
There you go. And if you can name that tune, you get a no prize. Like, the's no prize, but
that means you don't get shit.
Well, kind of, sort of, maybe, kind of, maybe. Sorry. Thank you, Shoehorn Aplenty. I can't see it on the screen, but on the chat, it's the Game Over Kabasan.
Stop killing my pet.
Yeah, he keeps killing the hippo. Keeps killing the hippo. Anyway, I guess we could kind of try to do something like the normal show, even though I'm, like I was telling Sats, I'm kind of inclined to just kind of chit-chat and kibitz for the show. Because, you know, why dive?
If we happen to veer off into conversation, I won't. I won't.
But let's see. Angela Ariaga says, I don't know the name, but it was in Moulin Rouge. Scribe like, well, it's the Roxanne bit where like the guy's singing Roxanne and she's having to Nicole Kidman's having to like date the Duke, and you know Ewan McGregor is all forlorn and sad and heartbroken while he's singing Roxanne. You don't have to turn on your red light, you know, that stuff. Thank you. This is Kyle again. Your heart is probably crying because of your singing. Well, it was a happy birthday.
I mean, that could be a compliment if you decide to take it that way.
Oh, okay. I'll think. What? Uh-oh, that's not a good sign.
2 notifications?
Gasp. Yeah, that's really not a good sign. Let's see real quick. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. El Tango du Roxanne, Moulin Rouge. Oh, it's Sister Scribe. Happy birthday, Scribe. Sister Scribe is listening. Oh my God, she's listening.
It's almost like she likes you.
Oh, I should call her. Hold on.
Oh boy.
I should call her and put her on the air. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Hold on. Let's see.
I'm sure she'll love that.
Yeah, hold on. I wonder if she's listening right now. Let's see.
She's going to yell at you.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Sister Scribe.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Did you hear me singing?
I did.
What'd you think?
Beautiful.
Oh, do you really mean that?
Yeah, except I thought it was Nat King Cole Nature Boy, but then you were right. It was.
Yeah, no. Oh, God, now I want to sing that one, too.
Oh, God, here we go. All right, turn on the autistic jukebox.
Hey, what'd you say? Oh, yeah. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way.
Just hang up, Sister Scribe.
And though we spoke of many things,
you don't have to endure.
Fools and kings,
run away.
This he said to me, the greatest thing
why is she not hung up yet?
ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
I feel you, Dom.
Now, see, I haven't sing that song in years, but I remembered all the lyrics.
Well, there you go.
There you go. All right. Anyway, you gonna be listening more? Or you got other stuff to do?
I was going to listen while I made dinner.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for saying happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
And I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
I love you.
Have a good show.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. There you go, guys. Sister Scribe, guest star.
That's our first call in.
I know, right? First, well, I think that might be the case. Yeah. Thank you, Joel McLaughlin, for the number one Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox. And thank you again, Shoehorn Aplenty, for the emoji face. So everybody loved my singing, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I didn't even look at the chat while I was doing that. I was focusing so much. Ooh, I got Le Swoon. What else? We want to meet your mom, Scribbles, says Data Wasteland. Oh, thank you, Ebony Williams. Happy birthday, Scribe. Here's to many more. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much, Ebony. All right. Well, I think the jukebox is going to take a break for a little bit because we got things we can talk about, I guess. And thank you, Lady Gopher, for the dancing Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox. Wowie, wow, wow. Dogcat Fox is happy. He's happy it's my birthday, aren't you? Yes, you are. I can see you staring up at me. Or do you just want food? I think you just want food. Okay. Well, you'll get a snack later. Let's see. I guess we should do something like news.
Something like news.
Something like news. I don't know. So how about we start off with how about a case of super duper cyber stalking?
Yay.
Nothing says happy birthday like super duper cyber stalking, I guess.
Sure.
Thank you, Circus Zero. Scribe's got a little motto. Always sees him through. When you're good to Scribbles, the Lord of Punishment is good to you. Happy birthday, Scribbles. Thank you, Circus. And Becca Fairley, thank you so much for the thanks for being you narcissistic pair. Thank you, Becca. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are so generous. Thank you. Thank you. Whoops. Scribelight, where is Dogcat Fox's party hat? I couldn't find one that fit him, and it took me long enough to figure out how to make a Dogcat Fox from the back, because I had to do that all basically by myself. I didn't have like a template for that, so I forgot the hat. That's basically why. Next 6 minutes. Thanks so much. Happy birthday, Scribe, singing for you right now. Oh boy.
Oh,
off in the distance somewhere, 6 is singing. But yeah, so cyber stalking. Let's see. Oh, and just seeing in the chat, Mr. Yes, thank you so much for the happy birthday. Miss Lim 1, thank you for the happy birthday. Also, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button if you have not already. And please share our stuff. Won't want to forget that part. I got so caught up in singing. Let's see. A Hawaiian man sentenced to supervision over Utah cyber stalking.
Is subscribing to a YouTube channel considered cyber stalking?
I don't think so.
I mean, we follow them everywhere they go and watch all their stuff.
Salt Lake City, a Hawaiian man who pleaded guilty to cyber stalking a Utah family by sending more than 500 people to their house for unwanted services, including food deliveries, plumbers, and prostitutes.
I feel like that might be cyber harassment.
Just a little bit. Was sentenced Thursday to 3 years of supervision and ordered to adhere to strict limitations on use of the internet. Lauren Akamura, 45, apologized while appearing from his home in Hawaii during a video conference hearing based out of U.S. District Court in Utah. Okamura said he was struggling with depression after his wife died when the cyber stalking occurred. He was given credit in the sentence for the nearly 1 year he spent in jail before being released in October 2020, several months after he accepted a plea deal. Quote, I would like to apologize for my actions, Akamura said. These events are not in my character. They sure as hell were. I'm looking to close my chapter and start a new chapter. Okay. Thank you, Mike R. Happy B-Day, Scribe. Thank you, Mike. And let's see. Tack Alpaca, thank you so much. Happy birthday, Scribe. I couldn't find a happy birthday Dogcat Fox, so I guess just a picture of Dogcat Fox saying happy birthday. The imagination is the best picture. Thank you so much. Yes, Dogcat Fox. He's wished me happy birthday. He just like looks at me and smiles. That's really all he does. That's all he can do. I think it's probably just genetics or something. Now, why did he pick this family is my question. Of all, I mean, like he's in Hawaii. What caused him to pick some random family in Utah? Prosecutors called the case an extreme example of the darker and seedier side of modern technology. Well, I mean, it allowed him to do something that people could have done in the olden days without it. But anyway, Akamura's online stalking in 2018 to 2019 targeted a father and his adult daughter who live in a quiet middle-class suburb of Salt Lake City, prosecutors alleged. He sent the woman threatening messages and posted her picture and address online, authorities said. One email told the woman she should, quote, sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight, exit light, enter night. Oh, wait, sorry, that's Metallica lyrics. I apologize. I made a joke. I was joking. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Happy birthday. Also, Scribe and Satsu.
Thanks.
Yes, to not include Satsu in my birthday.
Thank you for being inclusive.
Is it someone else's birthday? That's the other thing. Is it somebody else's birthday today? Because if it's somebody else's birthday, then we need to sing to you too.
It's Scribe and Satsu's birthday.
Sure it is. Sure. Let's see. The cyber harassment was extensive and horrific, said Karen Fwatchik, a prosecutor handling the case for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Utah. She objected to loosening strict rules Okamura must follow to be able to use the internet. Are they going to say, let's see, yeah. Prosecutors say around Okamura, yeah. Investigators began honing in on Okamura as the suspect in January 2019 when the Gilmores were granted a protective injunction from him in Utah, but it took investigators until that October to gather enough evidence to charge Okamura because of his use of encryption and apps that made him appear anonymous, prosecutors said. He wasn't arrested until late November because police struggled to find him because they didn't have a permanent address or job. He didn't have a permanent address or job, and authorities said he was savvy with technology used to mask his phone's location.
I just love that this isn't a part of my character, but you know, if I'm going to do that, I'm going all in.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you again, Chicago Mike. Oops, hi, Scribe and Satsu. Oh, that's fine. You didn't have to. That's fine. It was fine either way. Thank you for the clarification, though. Thank you so much.
We were just making fun. That is so funny. It's like, yeah, this isn't a part of my character at all, but if I'm going to take the time to do it, I'm going to be the best fucking stalker you've ever seen.
And yet they still, I mean, I'm trying to see. Prosecutors never revealed the relationship between the victim and Okamura, but his federal public defender, Vanessa Ramos, said Thursday they met online. Okay, so maybe like they chatted on a dating site or something, and then he just got obsessed, something like that. I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know either. But I was just curious, like, of all the people in the world, why he picked this father and daughter to just like go after. I don't know.
He got mad because she wouldn't introduce him to her dad.
That must be it. Why don't you introduce me to the parents? I want to meet the parents. Let's see. Well, I have another story. Satsu.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're being, let's say, blackmailed.
Whoa.
If you no, hold on. No. What is usually the last thing you want to do in that situation?
If you're being blackmailed, what's the last thing you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it really depends on what, but I don't know. I don't know. What is the last thing you do?
Well, generally speaking, you don't want to give in to the blackmail.
Oh yeah, like
I mean, you don't want to like pay him off because you'll be paying him off forever, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the situation, but you really don't want to do that, especially if you're like, say, I don't know, a company or something, maybe.
Well, but yeah, that especially.
Colonial Pipeline did pay ransom to hackers, sources now say.
Oh, so it's over then, I guess.
Yeah, and it'll never happen again.
Well, cool. Crime pays, guys.
Yeah, and this article took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people and CNN to write. Let's see how they did. Colonial Pipeline paid the ransomware group that carried out a crippling cyber attack. 2 sources familiar with the matter told CNN on Thursday. Now, are those 2 sources White House officials that can't be named because otherwise they'd have to filter the information, or is it just some people? We don't know, and we'll never know. The group, previously identified as DarkSide, demanded nearly $5 million. Why not go for 10? 2 other sources familiar with the incident said. The sources CNN spoke to Thursday did not say how much the company paid. Bloomberg first reported the ransom payment. I'm guessing they paid at least $5 million.
At least.
CNN was previously told by multiple sources that Colonial Pipeline had not yet paid the ransom, but 2 sources said on Thursday that the company did pay as it sought to retrieve the stolen information. It is not clear when the payment was made. The fact that the critical infrastructure company paid the ransom appears not to have been widely shared, you don't say, despite federal entities working with the pipeline company to build back its networks following the ransomware attack. Well, with everything right now, we have to build back better. Brandon Wales, the acting director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Administration, or CISA, said on Thursday that he has, quote, no knowledge of whether a ransom was paid, how much was paid, if it was paid, when it was paid, unquote. And you're the head of Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Administration. And you don't know, but sources familiar with the matter know. Okay, so either you're ignorant and bad at your job or you're lying. So which one do you want? President Joe Biden declined to comment when asked on Thursday whether Colonial Pipeline had paid the ransom, which means they did. And government officials said they did not know if a ransom had been paid during briefings with lawmakers on Capitol Hill, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter. Colonial Pipeline has also repeatedly declined to comment on the ransom payment, which means they did. The company, with help from private sector cybersecurity experts and U.S. government officials, managed to retrieve the most important data that was stolen, according to a person familiar with the response. Jesus. You know, the two words "familiar with" might be today's gas buddy. The person said at least some of the data was not retrieved from the hackers, but by leveraging the attackers' use of intermediary servers within the United States to store the stolen information. In response to the attack, private sector companies worked with U.S. agencies to take a key server offline as recently as Saturday, disrupting the cyber attacks against the pipeline operator, CNN previously reported. Holy cats. Thank you, Matt Barnes. J. Paul Getty is spinning in his grave. He would have worn them down to $1.50 from $5 million. Happy birthday, Scribe. Yeah, J. Paul Getty. So that reminds me of the whole fiasco with the movie about that. Do you know about the J. Paul Getty movie from a couple years ago?
Does not ring a bell.
So it was called All the Money in the World, right? Uh-huh. And it was a Ridley Scott film, if I remember correctly. And so it dramatized the true story of J. Paul Getty's grandson, I think it was, who was kidnapped by terrorists, and they demanded a bunch of money from him because he was like, one of the richest people in the world. And he said, no, I'm not going to pay a ransom. The true story is interesting in and of itself, but the movie's more interesting because who was starring as J. Paul Getty at the time? Why, Kevin Spacey. And what had happened to Kevin Spacey just weeks or whatever before the movie was set to be released, or a couple months actually. Oh yeah, he came, the whole scandal and everything. So what they did was they cut all of Kevin Spacey's stuff from the movie, hired Christopher Plummer, I think it was, to come in and shoot all of his scenes as pickups, bring back all of the actors who'd already, the film was already in the can at that point and had been for at least the better part of a year or something, I think, and reshoot all of their scenes where they interacted with the J. Paul Getty character, and did this all within, I think, just a month or two before they were going to release the movie anyway. So they had to bring all the people back, redo all the sets, reshoot all the scenes, get it all re-edited without Kevin Spacey in a single frame of the thing, and then re-release the movie. That story in and of itself is crazy. But there's a little trivia for you.
Wow.
I can tell you're impressed.
Oh, man. Believe me, I am super impressed.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. But the company only accessed the backups with the help of outside security firms and U.S. government officials after it had already paid the ransom and realized the decryption tool provided by DarkSide was inefficient, according to Bloomberg. So they paid the ransom to get the thing they needed to decrypt the information, but the thing that they got for the ransom they paid didn't work. Whereas if they just stopped for a second, asked for help, they could have avoided paying the ransom and funding cyber terrorists. Okay, good job. That's the other thing. That's the other thing you got to remember. You pay a ransom to a bunch of cyber terrorists, you're funding cyber terrorism activities. That's the part that I baffled that they decided to do. And there was I forget what it was. I saw on Twitter somebody put out a story saying that there's a suggestion that it should be made a crime if you pay the ransom to ransomware pirates or whatever. Like if you give in to a ransomware attack and pay, where you're effectively then funding the hackers or whatever, that in and of itself should become a crime.
That's a little That's a little ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see the argument again. Like, I mean, if I just out of the blue elected to send money overseas to a terrorist organization, I'd be committing a crime, right?
Well, yeah, if you just out of the blue did it, sure, but if they're like,
Yeah.
we got your fucking family, and you're like, oh shit.
Holy cats! Thank you, Resolute Germ, with the jumping into the stars fireworks dogcat fox. Those of you at home who aren't looking at the chat window have to see that for yourselves, because I've never seen that sticker before.
He sent a super sticker.
That's a super sticker. It's called a super sticker. Oh, okay. Thank you, Resolute Germ. That's very generous of you. Holy cow.
And that's probably why you haven't seen it before.
Could be. Wow, thank you so much. But yeah, so that happened. This just shut down the pipeline. Government working to identify individual hackers. Yeah. Truth be told, even if they paid the ransom, it's going to be incumbent upon the Biden administration to at least show that they've got something down in this situation, because it's going to happen again. Because what happens when you give a mouse a cookie? He's going to want a glass of milk. So these guys will be emboldened. Not only will these guys be emboldened to do this again to somebody if they haven't already, but others will as well. That's the problem with paying off the ransom. You incentivize it happening again.
I wonder if they pay them in Bitcoin.
That'd probably be the smartest way to go, all things considered. But maybe they have to call up the guy in Hawaii to get some advice on that. Anyway, let's move on to other news. The biggest news of the day, so far as I've been told, and that's long-awaited milestones could soon return as more young Americans get vaccinated, CDC director says. Actually, I think this story might be a little bit old, because the CDC today recommended that anybody who's been vaccinated can now move throughout the world without wearing a mask, except on the bus or on subways. Or it was the most like sideways compliment sort of thing ever. It's like, your freedoms are back, mostly.
Well, I just, like, a lot of people were just like, because there's this, I think we talked about it before, but there's this like huge push now to get people to stop saying things to anybody who is still wearing a mask, despite the fact that the scientists are saying you don't have to anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, where was this push before? Like, what happened when people who weren't wearing masks were being literally attacked in public? Where was the leave them alone? Now it's like, oh, this is a problem. It's a problem now to harass people who aren't falling in line. Okay. Well, the other thing that in relation to this, the CDC comes out and says that now its advice is that if you've been vaccinated, you can more freely move through the country without a mask on. And then President Biden tweeted this out earlier this afternoon. The rule is now simple. Get vaccinated or wear a mask until you do. The choice is yours. Yay, freedom. This coming from the President of the United States. So is that a presidential edict to the country? Is that a martial law declaration that now anybody out in the world without a mask on has to show some authority, a vaccination card, or else you have to put a mask on, or what? You committed a crime? Well, I guess the best way to handle this is think about, unfortunately, the way we have to usually think about it. If Trump said those exact words, what would the narrative be? I wonder. What would the narrative be? I'm sure it'd be fine. I'm sure there wouldn't be any issues at all. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry. The cops are coming for me. What did you do now? Nothing. It has nothing to do with the gas company. Let the redhead go. Hey, no, wait, no. No. Now, here. See here. There's some things I just can't do. All right. Can't do it. Yeah, so I'm not going to dwell on this story much because it's just, like I said, I think it might be a little bit out of date. Yeah, because the CDC says if you've been vaccinated, you no longer have to wear a mask. But of course, how are you going to distinguish between someone who has been vaccinated or not just because they're not wearing a mask? But
yeah, this seems to be the trend now. We are moving towards a place where they're going to start in different states and things declaring that the whole mask mandate is going to be phased out over the next month or two.
Well, I know some people said, could this possibly be the start of, the vaccine passport stuff where they have to make you show it? And a bunch of people in the comments said, God, I hope so. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, let's not do the papers, please thing. I would just love to have the whole mask thing go away. I am sick of wearing a mask. I'm sick of having to carry the thing around and yank it over my face before I go to the grocery store or just walking into the mall or whatever else. I'm going shopping with my sister. I'm just done. I'm done with it. I want to stop. It's annoying. And there's something about putting on that mask. I don't know if it's part of the physics of having to essentially rebreathe in your own breath half the time. But it always ends up irritating my nose, and my nose starts running a little bit, and I get all sniffly, and I feel claustrophobic when I have the thing on. It's I'm done with it. I want to stop. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, well, I was going to talk about the Israel Gaza conflict because there were reports that Israel had actually invaded Gaza, had sent their troops in, but apparently that's now been countered by Israel. So I'm not quite sure what the truth is, but there are reports that technically war has begun after a fashion. So I don't know what's going on there right now. I will check back later on to see if there's a more accurate report in case that matters. But for the time being, let's move on to MSS News. So everyone, if you have news stories you'd like for us to read on the air, as I get my mumble over my own words, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise to get to them all, because apparently my caps lock was on and I was typing in the wrong thing. That's part of the reason. Let's see. Thank you, Chicago Mike, if it'll come up. Ponch and John are out on patrol again. Oh, yes. Chips. You know about chips, don't you, Satsu?
I love them. Doritos are good.
No, the CHP, California Highway Patrol.
Oh, yeah.
You never watched that show, I assume?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. I figured you'd at least heard of it. So.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, well. I am more ancient now than I was the other day, so.
Haha.
Let's see. This one comes from Top Ramen Lewis. It's about everybody's favorite celebrity, Satsu.
Batman?
Oh, Demi Lovato.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves her.
I still, every time I hear her name, I have to force myself to remember, okay, why is she famous? She's a singer, right?
She was on the Disney Channel girls. Well, was it Disney? It might have been one of those. Either way, she came up that way.
Demi Lovato to host UFO investigation docuseries Unidentified. By the way, this article comes to us from MySpace, if you can believe it.
Pardon.
The show will see Lovato explore government reports, speak to eyewitnesses, and conduct tests. Demi Lovato is set to host a new unscripted limited series about UFOs called Unidentified. The show, which will air on Peacock, something I still have never watched, will see the musician alongside her best friend Matthew and sister Dallas try to find out the truth about UFOs. Spoiler alert, they won't.
Nothing says listen to me because I'm a popular figure like starting a show about UFOs.
Quote, while consulting with leading experts, the trio will investigate recent eyewitness encounters, uncover secret government reports, no they won't, and conduct tests at known UFO hotspots, unquote, reads a description of the show obtained by Variety. You know what real investigative show that I liked the most in the last, I guess it's been 10 years now or something. It was called Extreme Paranormal. You ever hear about this?
Extreme Paranormal.
Okay, so I don't even know if you can find up. Hell, they're probably up on YouTube somewhere. I have a couple of episodes in a file somewhere. Anyway, So what this show did was the premise of this was, ghost hunters. Those guys would go off to like some old abandoned prison or whatever and just like get their night vision film stuff.
Right.
Okay. And they'll just be like, hey, is anybody here? That kind of thing. Okay. So what Extreme Paranormal did, their whole premise was they were going to go to places that were haunted and actually intentionally try to piss off the ghosts to get them to appear.
Oh, so phasmophobia.
Yeah, basically, right?
So phasmophobia in real life.
Thank you, Jaeger Pony. Will Grigori Solakos be involved? Oh, if only. If aliens, man, if he doesn't show up as a special expert with his hair all done up, I mean, he can just write his own ticket at that point, can't he? You know about the aliens guy, right?
I don't know. Squishy probably does.
You know that aliens meme where it's like the guy with the big hair all spiked up and he's just holding his hands out, aliens?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's become a living legend. Thank you, Officer Buck, Sup Scribbles. Oh, sorry, Snibbles, Satsu 2 Galleon, and chat. Galleons. I know it's a currency for something. I don't know what.
Hello.
Thank you, Officer Buck.
What happened to Scribbles? Are you roboting?
Am I roboting?
Was he roboting or did I just lose him?
I don't know. I can't tell. You'll have to
roboting.
tell me. Uh-oh.
Well, that's pretty bad. Well, hi, guys. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because Scribe just completely fucking... he just malfunctioned. Oh, Scribbles. What, girl? Ain't nobody trying to... Oh, wait. Is this me? Is this me?
Okay, everybody's saying that I'm fine.
This is us.
So I'm not roboting to them. If I'm roboting to you, it might be. I mean, I logged out and came back in case that was a thing. That was me intentionally doing that, by the way, because Satsu was telling me I'm roboting, so I just reset and came back. But if you guys were hearing me fine the whole time, then I don't know. So now Satsu's dropping out, and maybe he'll come back. And then I can restart my whole anecdote about Extreme Paranormal, because I still want to talk about that, because the one episode I got is the most ridiculous. So, yeah. It's birthday show. Yay! And something else was going on. It was Satsu. Okay. Satsu was roboting. Okay. See, this is the problem when we only have 2 of us instead of 3 anymore. There's no double check from someone else on the show to say whether or not one of us is screwing up. Okay. So Satsu, I guess it was you.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Because I heard you fine.
Okay.
For the most part. Or maybe it was delayed. I couldn't tell for sure. But yeah, everybody else was like, we can hear him fine.
Yeah, I was looking around and my fucking miner stopped, and then I looked at the TV and the TV was frozen. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Tis me.
So anyway, so Extreme Paranormal, right? The episode that I have somewhere in like a folder or whatever, the one that I liked the most was they went down to a swamp in Louisiana, right? And they went to some haunted area or something, and they like buried one of their team members alive and like did some ritual or something using like voodoo stuff in order to like piss off the ghosts or the Loa, as it were. And so yeah, that was their strategy. They were going there to not be nice, not to like, hey, come out wherever you are. They were like, hey, fuck you, ghosts. And I mean, they didn't make any ghosts appear, obviously, but the entertaining part was just the stuff that the lengths they would go to try to tick off the ghosts and like violate their territory or something or upset the spirits, which I found always like partially entertaining, but also partially like, I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but why don't you let them, why piss off the dead, right? Like, it seems a little bit disrespectful to be mild about it. So anyway, that show only lasts like 4 episodes or something, and I don't think it never became a major series or whatever. But it was the most entertaining of any of those kind of things I'd ever watched.
Yeah, Squishy likes a lot of that ghost stuff or whatever, but I always think that sometimes they be trying to maybe going overboard to really try to prove to you that they are ghostesses.
Let's see. This one comes from New Fate 26. Oh, we have some more celebrity news. Boy, it's just going to be celebrity news all day. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, so let me get this all. I got to reset everything because I logged myself out. This. IHOP turned away Adam Sandler. Now it's trying to make it up to him. Hell, I'd turn away Adam Sandler. No, shush. IHOP is hoping to make amends with Adam Sandler next week after an unwitting hostess turned away the comedian at a Long Island location. The IHOP employee, not realizing she was talking to Adam Sandler, as though he's owed something different, told the actor that the restaurant was busy and it'd be a long wait to be seated. Sandler politely left the restaurant. Okay, so what was she going to do? Like kick people out and put him ahead of the line because he was Adam Sandler? Okay. The mishap went viral on TikTok, which prompted a response from Sandler on Twitter, joking that he only left the IHOP because the, quote, nice woman told me the all-you-can-eat deal didn't apply to the milkshakes, unquote. Now IHOP is hoping to is making it up to Sandler by declaring this Monday Milkshake Monday. Customers can go to any of the restaurant's chains, 19 locations across Long Island, pay $6.49, and get all-you-can-drink milkshakes beginning at noon and lasting until 8 p.m. Wow, thanks to Adam Sandler, everybody on Long Island can get diabetes together. Yay!
They're going to get
thank
sugars.
Thank you, Ashley Mented. Happy birthday, Scribe. It'll be my birthday on Monday, 17th. Woot, woot. Okay, well, we'll sing. Do you want a song then or a song now?
Scribe.
I mean, what? Who's that?
It is me, your conscience.
Oh, God, not now. Oh, what do you want?
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Conscience.
Bye.
Bye, Conscience. Even my conscience won't let me rest.
It's your conscience. Happy birthday.
You've never said that to me before. Usually it's like, you're a terrible person. You need to apologize for sending that email with the misspelling in it. I'm sorry.
He's like, well, that too, but.
Oh, okay. All right. Back to Adam Sandler. IHOP is also donating $1 of each milkshake sold up to $50,000 at its roughly 1,600 locations across the U.S. to Comedy Gives Back, a charity for struggling comedians that lost income because of the pandemic. Holy cow, Adam Sandler, you need to politely walk out of more restaurants.
Right.
I mean, okay, IHOP is milking this for as much good PR as they can get. And I guess good on them. But it's a little overboard, in my opinion.
Yeah, a bit much, but whatever.
Yeah, a bit much.
But
anyway,
people benefit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it doesn't hurt anybody, and if they're donating to charity, then some more power to them. This episode of Lords of the Night is not brought to you by Group 14 Technologies. They are not sponsoring us in the effort of enabling the reinvention of batteries. Our lithium silicon battery material SCC55 will power a new era of electric vehicles, electronics, spaceflight, and medical devices. The only part I care about is if you're powering things to go to the moon.
That's right.
That's it. Otherwise, I couldn't care less. But then you're not sponsoring us, so honestly, I couldn't care less anyway. Moving on. This one comes from friend of the show, Pecoraro, the driving ape man. For news from the Great White North, or at least Toronto. Armed man arrested after running from stolen car. Was the stolen car chasing him in revenge?
Kit?
Police say Shane Smith Thomas, 32, was carrying a firearm when he ran for a stolen car near Lawrence and Dufferin. Ran for a stolen car. Okay. He ran, but he couldn't hide. Police have a man in custody. They say ran from a stolen car carrying a loaded handgun Tuesday night. At around 8 p.m. near Yorkdale Mall, Toronto police say officers spotted and attempted to stop a stolen Mercedes-Benz. Oh, Lord, won't you steal me a Mercedes-Benz? No? Okay. The driver proceeded to ram the marked police cruiser and took off, exiting his vehicle a short distance south near Lawrence Avenue West and Dufferin Street. I think that counts as assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. The suspect, police say, had a firearm in his hand as he fled officers on foot. And is it just me, or is the barrel of that gun bent?
That whole gun looks fucked up.
Yeah. Now I'm no gun expert, but I would not feel comfortable firing a bullet out of that gun.
I wouldn't feel comfortable holding that fucking thing. It looks like it's about to blow up at any moment.
Yeah. And let's see. I'm trying to occasionally catch some well wishes on chat here. Zenith says, "Oops, I meant happy birthday, Scribe Light." Well, what did you say before? I'm scrolling up. Maybe I'm
it
missing
just looked crusty. It looks crusty.
There's a happy birthday, Lords of the Night.
Herpa derp day.
Herpa derp 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 derp.
No, they said the barrel like that moves up or whatever when it's
does it
like that? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Jim Helis tells us the barrel tilts like that to load the next round into the chamber. Okay. See, like I say, I'm no gun expert.
That's right. We ignorant when it comes to weapons.
With the help of the TPS K9 unit and helpful members of the public, officers managed to locate and arrest the suspect. Police recovered a Taurus G2C 40 caliber handgun with 10 rounds of ammunition. 32-year-old Shane Smith Thomas of Toronto faces numerous charges, including weapons, fleeing police, possession of stolen property, and failure to comply with release orders. He appeared in court on Wednesday. I don't know what the law is in California. Sorry. I might know what the law is in California. In Canada, but if you are using a car to ram a police officer's car or direct it at police officers, that's usually also counted as assault with a deadly weapon or vehicular assault, at least. So, and especially if you do it against a cop, it's even worse. So, thank you, Keldrig. Happy birthday, Scribe. The world wouldn't be the same without you.
Wait, how come you just get flat out compliments from Keldrick, but it's always some sideways "fuck you"? But here's some money.
Well, because I'm better than you.
Well, clearly that's painfully obvious now. Thank you for clarifying for me.
Well, I would have been happy to do that any day of the week, Satsu. You just had to ask. That's all. But anyway, so if he wasn't charged with vehicular assault or assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer, I'm kind of surprised. But again, I don't know the laws in Canada. Moving on to our other friend in Canada. That would be Peter Stewart. Sends us this one. Rights of social media users upheld in Bill C-10, Department of Justice. All right, I don't know what that means. Ottawa. The Department of Justice has concluded that recent amendments to Bill C-10 would not restrict the freedom of expression of social media users under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Okay, it comes as the Liberals face scrutiny for removing and refusing to reinstate an exemption from the bill that protected individuals' online content from its proposed Broadcasting Act, prompting the free speech concerns. Through Bill C-10, the government is seeking to make changes aimed at ensuring major social media platforms and streaming services such as Netflix, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify pay their fair share towards Canadian artists and are held to similar standards as regular broadcasters. Okay. Though a series of miscommunications from the minister responsible over what amendments to the bill would mean for everyday users of these services and platforms prompted MPs to agree to have justice officials re-examine whether the proposed legislation was still in compliance with the charter. I don't know what any of this means.
Words.
It's words and it's Canadian law, and I don't know. In the new analysis, the department states that because a separate regulation exemption for individual users remains intact in the current draft of Bill C-10, people who post to social media or streaming services who are not the province of said service, quote, would not be subject to broadcasting regulation in respect of the programs they post, unquote. Not the province. Okay, I'm still confused. Further, the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission's CRTC new regulatory powers in the bill, quote, would be limited, and these requirements could only be imposed upon the social media service and would have to be, quote, interpreted and applied in a manner consistent with freedom of expression. So what does this mean in practice? I need some Let's see. Specifically, the regulations in question would have implications for the content algorithms that suggest what users should watch or listen to next on social media or streaming platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, or Spotify. Okay. The bill leaves the door open for infringement on the rights of Canadians. We will oppose this bill vigorously, but let me be perfectly clear. If this bill passes, a conservative government will repeal it, he said. It's unfair to trample on the rights of Canadians to try and mislead them by saying they must accept regulation of their social media in order to help artists. Okay, so is this kind of like what was going on with Napster over here years and years ago with like Metallica kind of thing?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I need some context. I don't really know. Yeah, I need a Canadian expert to tell me. Okay. Also, just as a note, because it's happening right now, I seem to be experiencing some kind of lightheadedness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that feeling you get when you got like low blood sugar or something. And I don't have diabetes or anything, but I just feel kind of woozy all of a sudden. Like I need to eat something or whatever.
Have you eaten?
Not much today, truth be told. So that is probably the problem. So I think I can go through the rest of the show. I'm just a little shaky right now. That's all.
We'll have some birthday cake.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Oh.
That'll probably be for when my family's here to visit and do stuff. So if I start getting a little woozy or something, that might be why. Maybe it won't come across on the show. I don't know. But I just thought on the off chance that something does happen, I'll tell you ahead of time. I don't think I'm in any medical danger. Let me just put it that way. But I'm just a little goofy right now. After the show, I'll have to make sure to have something substantive, Irate Bear, for dinner. Let's see. Thank you, Dark Lyle. Aha! It means the average Canadian can feel free to stream without worrying the CRTC would fine them for breaking Canadian content rules. Oh, okay. So what's going on is a good thing.
Presumably.
I'm assuming. Okay. Well, anything that, doesn't make somebody fear for their financial or legal security and just doing what we do, basically, or anything else is good. Because, what's going on in the greater part of Europe right now is not good. Especially if you look at what's going on in Scotland and other places, just like, ugh.
Tyler says if a Canadian YouTuber didn't meet the standards, they would censor you.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that's good news for now, I suppose. Let's see. As I said, this one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Byrne. Yay. Women hit in face with 10-pound log of prepackaged meat during fight at Walmart, South Euclid police say.
So just imagine getting hit by a pool noodle, but it's full of ground beef. and there you go.
Well, I can't say that's not what some of my dates have experienced before. Oh, wait. Thank you, Keldrig. Step up your game, Satsu. We don't have a replacement Scribe, but we have a spare Trudeau just north of the border. Ooh.
Look, man.
Look here. Listen, look here. Dang, Keldrig doesn't like you.
I know. It's so mean.
But he loves me. Cleveland, Ohio.
God damn it.
A Cleveland woman was arrested on Tuesday afternoon for her role in a fight at the South Euclid Walmart. That's your favorite Walmart, isn't it, Satsu?
No, I hate Walmart.
Keldrig, you are justified. Anyway, according to the police, officers responded to the Walmart for reports of a fight between two women in the store's potato chip aisle.
Yeah.
There's an aisle with nothing but potato chips.
I mean, it is mainly potato chips.
Okay, truth be told, I go to Walmart once in a blue moon. I don't know what goes on at Walmart, but okay. It was learned by police that one woman had a protection order filed against the alleged attacker stemming from a prior incident from where the two resided at a University Heights duplex. Okay, so they ran into each other at the Walmart and decided to throw food at each other. Oh no. Oh no. Quote, it is unknown as to what initially led to the beef between the two women, unquote. South Euclid Police wrote on Facebook. Well, credit to them. That was funny. The woman who filed the protection order was confronted by the other, you don't say. She allegedly threatened to assault her and her 7-year-old daughter. Well, fuck her.
That sounds like some Cleveland bitch shit.
Police said the suspect attempted to spit on the other woman and then hit her in the face with a 10-pound log of prepackaged meat. The 25-year-old suspect, good adults here, was arrested and charged. Do you have a problem with like past tense here? Threatened, charged, and charged with assault and violating a protection order. It was also later discovered that she had multiple warrants out for her arrest, if you can believe it. Her 5-year-old child was turned over to another family member. Well, thank goodness for that. Jeez Louise. Man. Ohio. Am I right?
And look, and that was Cleveland. That wasn't even East Cleveland. East Cleveland is like 3 times worse. But yeah, sounds about right. And for I think it was Kyle in the chat was like log ? Yeah, they sell it's like a 10-pound thing of beef, and it's literally it's like a big tube or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, I've seen those. So I think I know what they're talking about. It's just like, what a bitch. Let's see. Oh, this sounds like a brilliant idea. This one comes from Sean Uli.
Uli.
Ule. Chicago releases 1,000 feral cats to end reputation as rat capital of America. All right, let's think about this for a second. Feral cats, right? Cats that will attack each other, attack people, attack other pets that aren't rats, and are more likely to carry disease to other cats. This sounds brilliant.
Yeah, if those cats are anything like the cat I had, they will befriend the rats and use them to do their bidding.
Chicago has released more than 1,000 feral cats onto the streets, hoping to end its long-running ranking as the rat capital of the U.S. So they did this in an effort to spare their own feelings on the situation.
So wait, who did this again? I'm sorry.
The city of Chicago.
Okay. Now, what's hilarious about that is apparently the fact that, because you remember, this was a story for a while because Trump was talking about the fact that Chicago had rats. Remember? Mm-hmm. And there was this big thing like, you're full of shit, Trump. That's not true. Chicago doesn't have rats. That's not true. Yet here we are almost a year later, and they've released an army of cats to deal with their non-existent rat problem. That is hilarious.
The Cats at Work program. Oh, are they pulling a paycheck for this? Okay. Came to light after the Windy City was named by.
Oh, was that Baltimore? Sorry, they said it was Baltimore. My bad.
Satsu, how dare you put out fake news?
I thought it was Chicago.
The Cats at Work program came to light after the Windy City was named by pest control company Orkin as the rattiest city for the 6th consecutive year, with the Big Apple third after Los Angeles. So wait, a pest control company effectively makes fun of Chicago. And in response, Chicago has to save face from the pest control company. And so they release 1,000 feral animals into the wild, where they are free to, again, attack regular pets. It's not like they just, it's like, hey, now feral cats, your job is to only attack rats. And all the little kitty cats do a Count Dankula Buddha dog salute in response, in confirmation of that. And then go out into the world and they're like, okay, guys, we're only after rats. We're not going to attack other people's cats. We're not going to attack other people's dogs. We're not going to attack people. We're not going to pass disease on to other cats, like cat AIDS or God knows what else. No. We're only going to attack rats in order to make sure Chicago doesn't feel bad anymore. All right, cats, you ready? Let's go. That's how that went. Mm-hmm. I have it on good authority. I have it from sources familiar with the meander.
I thought you were going to say catter, and that was just going to hurt me, so I'm glad you didn't.
Deca says cat AIDS. Yes, cat, I forget what it's called. It's like feline immunovirus or something like that. And it is effectively cat AIDS, for lack of a better phrase. It doesn't work on people because it's only a cat thing. But yeah, my one of my cats years ago died after getting that and had to be put down. So it's a thing that happens. Feline leukemia, that's what it is. Yeah, SIBO says, yeah, feline leukemia. But I mean, it's also referred to as cat AIDS. Let's see. The Treehouse Humane Society hopes its program will help replace rats with cats, insisting it is also kind to the felines, which would otherwise face long stays in shelter and often even euthanasia. Quote, these are feral cats who wouldn't thrive in a home or shelter environment, the society insisted of the program, which has run since 2012. So wait, you've been releasing feral cats into the wild since 2012? What? While feral, the cats have all been neutered to, quote, create a net positive impact on the small animal population of Chicago, unquote, the society said. Okay, well, they're not going to be breeding, but they're still feral. Okay, anyway, Chicago Mike, thanks so much. Afterwards, Chicago will be sending dogs for the cats. Then the dogs and cats will be living together. Another sign the world is ending. Mass hysteria. Oh, there's a ranting monkey. Ranting Monkey, happy birthday. Thank you, Ranting Monkey. Are you gaming right now? You want to come on the show? Because you're at your Ranting Monkey Games thing. I don't know. You tell me. I appreciate it. Yeah, anyway, so feral cats all over Chicagoland. Yay.
Chicagoland?
Chicagoland. That's what we call it. The Windy City. Let's see. And then we're into stories from the other day. So I'm going to just stop there. And we'll move on to other stuff. Guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Appreciate it. We'll move on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. Let's see. I have to pay attention to Twitter for a second here. Satsu, what have you been up to on the YouTubes?
Well, I have been editing videos. And I got a cooking video done that'll be going up tomorrow. And hopefully there'll be a video for my gaming channel going up tomorrow. And that's mainly what I've been up to. I'm not really doing anything else. And just looking at other business ventures, trying to find out how to make some money in the meantime until I can get some more equipment for my miner. Because as you know, there's a shortage. Of everything. So that is kind of halting my progress, but you know what is? It is what it is. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Chillaxing.
All right. Well, today, if you can believe it,
Nope.
What?
Nope, I can't believe it.
Oh, okay. Well, can you believe it's not butter?
I can believe it's not butter.
You're one of the rare ones. So I did a TED Excellence today.
Was it excellent?
Well, it was called, if I remember, the Forgotten Tradition of Sin. And this one, for those of you, I have spoiler alert for those of you that haven't watched it yet. This has been added to the WTF Hall of Fame of TED Excellences.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this in the future and you don't want the TEDx spoiled, skip ahead. I don't even know what visual cue I could give you. Maybe after Monkey gets here. Anyway, so our speaker was, in a ridiculously roundabout way, which took forever, he suggested that part of the problem with the world is that we see each other as these terrible, flawed people who are inherent sinners, blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of like, well, I suppose if you were raised in a very fundamentalist religious household that practiced some form of Christianity and or Catholicism specifically, you might believe that. But most people don't, at least as far as I know, but then maybe I'm wrong. And so he wanted to change the perspective on sin from something where you condemn and judge someone for the things that they do, and instead extend to them compassion for the things that they do. And he wanted to make this distinction by claiming that sin, the word, the concept in the Bible, was actually a different term with a different meaning at its root. Okay, now I don't know how religious you or your family are, Satsu, but if I asked you in what language, or at least part of the world, would you say the Bible originates from?
Shit, I don't fucking know. Israel.
Okay, so the Middle East.
Yeah, the Middle East.
Okay, and would it sound untoward if I said or proposed that the original documents that say the Bible comes from were written in Hebrew?
No, not totally.
Okay. Well, our speaker told us that the actual root of the concept of sin is effectively a mistranslation from the original Greek.
What?
Here, I'll bring on Monkey. Hello, Monkey.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh my God, it's so weird hearing your voice on here again.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey.
To you. Happy birthday, dear Scribbles. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Monkey.
Indeed. How are you guys?
Oh boy. Well, I'm a
You
little
guys are
lightheaded.
talking about sin, and that's where I showed up.
Well, I know, right? Just like it's almost like conjuring you into existence, like you're a demon or
sin
something.
incarnate just popped
Right?
up as soon as you said it.
Well, I'm a little lightheaded. Apparently, I didn't eat enough today. My blood sugar apparently is low. I'm feeling a little woozy, but other than that, I'm fine. How are you, Monkey?
Sore but happy, so we'll call it a win.
Oh, did the grandkids around?
No, I got to see them a couple weeks ago, and I saw Pumpkin quite a bit this last weekend, but no, this is just my body decided to do it. So,
all right. Well, so speaking of sin,
yes,
I don't know how much you heard previously about what I was just saying.
Oh, you're guessing where the original translation is stuff from? Isn't it originally in Aramaic?
That might also be more accurate as well. But what our speaker on the TEDx today was telling us was that sin, as we understand it, is actually a mistranslation from the original Greek.
All right.
In the original Greek, apparently the word sin is replaced or reinterpreted as something called, try to see if I can remember how to pronounce it, hamartia or something like that. And anyway, what hamartia means, according to our speaker, is missed the mark.
Yeah, well, sin often does.
Yeah, so to try to distill this down, our speaker was attempting to propose that we as a society, do not look at sins, whatever you categorize those are, as things to be judged upon or condemned, but instead looked at as situations where a person took an action because they lacked the knowledge that it would turn out badly. So basically, he was trying to equate, as far as I could tell, an intentional action of, I am going to do something I know is wrong, with something that you would otherwise classify as an honest mistake. And these two things, one should supplant the other as far as reaction.
Well, if you go through the story of the Garden of Eden, I mean, that actually makes sense, because Adam and Eve, the eating the apple, they didn't know that eating the apple was wrong. They were told not to do it. What they gained from that was the knowledge of the gods, which is the knowledge of right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of goes with that a little bit.
But the things that we talk about when we're talking about sin, like, wrath, greed, lust, and so on and so forth, these are conscious action. I mean, now, again, you have to presume that you care about sin in your immortal soul and everything for this to make sense in the first place. And our speaker is a pastor, so it kind of made sense for him. But, I mean, if you're committing a sin, presumably you already have to know what is and is not a sin. So you're making a conscious decision to do something you know is wrong, versus a situation where you act in the absence of knowing the outcome. So he brought up the tragedy of Oedipus Rex, right? And wherein the character, I'm being very summary in this, but the character takes a bunch of actions without the knowledge that he is effectively marrying his own mother and so on. I mean, the audience knows the background of what's going on, but the character does not. So he's acting in good faith, but making horrible, horrible decisions unbeknownst to him. That is what you would call more or less an honest mistake, or a series of honest mistakes, as tragic as they are. You can't necessarily hold someone to account for that if they don't know the truth of what they're doing or the background. But someone who, like, I'm going to murder that person, it's kind of a different situation.
Yeah, if Oedipus knew what he was doing, it would be a whole different story.
Right. And so the speaker was trying to say that sin should be considered or categorized as missing the mark, like a tragic mistake of misfortune, rather than a intentional act of doing something wrong.
It's a little late.
Okay. But then what is when you do intentional acts of wrong?
I see, that's the thing I don't know. Real quick. Thank you, Alyssa. Happy birthday. Thank you, Alyssa. So much. So my armchair, or I should say, I'm not a psychologist, but I do own a couch. As I was listening to him, I kept thinking to myself, this guy's done something pretty lousy, and he's trying to find a way to shrug off as much accountability for it as he can, philosophically. It's like, it's not really my fault that I did it. It's because I just didn't have the right footing to act correctly. So he was trying to say that the example he used was something to the effect of, no one was there to teach the person where to place their feet so they wouldn't miss the mark. And
I see.
That's fine, but what about people who do it intentionally? That's
the thing, is like I said, there is a difference between an honest mistake and malice aforethought. These are two different things, and they can and should be treated differently. But now, real quick, thank you, Twisted Skipster. Simeon wins. It was Aramaic. Well, there you go. Okay. See, I said at the beginning of the deal, I'm not a theologian, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I approach it that way.
You know how I know that?
How's that?
The Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The original Aramaic. That's right. Okay, movies teach us something. Thank you, Sora Luna. Well, you can't see the super sticker there, but it's a growing game controller that levels up into big muscles. Ooh. Thank you, Sora Luna. Appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, so he was trying to say that these two things should be considered the same, or you should replace the idea of sin with everything else being an honest mistake. And therefore, if we approach everything with compassion, then there won't be so much bad feeling in the world and strife and da. I said, here's the thing. Whether it's an honest mistake or it's a sin, how it is approached after the fact is entirely up to the person who has been effectively the victim of it, right? And I brought up the example of I want to say it was either the cousin or the brother of the guy who was shot by the officer Geiger, Amber Geiger.
Mm-hmm.
And how after the trial was over with and she'd been convicted but hadn't been sentenced yet, he was up on the stand giving his victim statement, and he asked the judge if he could give her a hug because he felt that his loved one would have wanted him to forgive her, and that's what he did. And I use that as an example because it's like, okay, this guy has been wronged. No one can argue this guy has been wronged. Whether or not it was an honest mistake or malice aforethought, depending on how you look at the circumstances of what happened, this guy was wrong. So how does he correctly deal with this? Well, here's the thing. That's up to him, because even if he had been on that stand, I said, and he had been bitter and angry and condemned her, I would have completely backed him up and I would have empathized. The fact that he decided not to do that and instead offer forgiveness, I completely back that up and empathize, because that is his prerogative as the victim to decide how he wants to handle it. So if you are the victim of someone who has sinned or made an honest mistake, maybe you'd be overreacting if you completely condemn this person and vilify them for an honest mistake, if you can know that it's an honest mistake. But if you did compassion or condemnation for someone who sinned, that's entirely up to you too. But he was trying to say that somehow, there's an automatic reaction to a sin, and we all have to sort of forgive the sin as all being honest mistakes because everybody who does them is somehow not wholly responsible or something.
This kind of sounds like the teach people not to rape kind of narrative, where it's just like, well, yeah, they don't know. Nobody ever taught them that rape was bad, and therefore it's not really a sin. It's just it was a little bit like that, because
he didn't give enough information for me to tell whether this was sort of a self benefiting philosophy because of his own bad acts.
Dude, that's where I usually go whenever I hear shit like this. I'm like, what did you do?
What
the fuck did you do?
On the flip side of it, he did give one example that might explain it. So his major example, I guess, towards this was he used to work at a church, and when that church found out that he supported LGBTQ rights, they fired him for not adhering to church doctrine. And he brings this up in relation to his reaction to it, in being, at first he was angry and everything else and so on and so forth. And I was like, well, I can understand, because in my perspective, I don't agree with that church. So yes, you were wrongly fired. But at the same time, you knew who you were working for. You knew what the rules were. So if you came out and said this, you should also not be surprised by what happened.
Exactly. I mean, that's them following their rules, and you getting shocked by, oh my God, they have rules. I'm with Satsu on this. Maybe this is what he's talking about. Just the fact that he got fired from there and he wants to work for a more liberal kind of church organization. But have you read the book?
Well, that's the thing. He said he was raised in a religious household. So I was like, okay, you can't be surprised by this. But if he was trying to figure out a better way to deal with the aftermath of it, and like, instead of looking at these people as being sinners for having done what they did wrong, they acted in the absence of knowledge, and therefore he should approach it with compassion rather than bitterness. And I'm like, well, okay, that's one way you can look at it as someone from the outside, I suppose, if that makes you feel better. If you want to forgive them, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do kind of thing. Well, that goes in line with your religion, even though technically supporting gay rights doesn't. But whatever you want to do, dude, it's your life, etc. It was a very weird talk. And the major problem was he kept referring to this Greek, I don't know, concept as the root of sin. And I'm like, no, that's not. It's literally not. And I even said, hey, if you can tell me that the original, I said Hebrew, but now, of course, I've been corrected, Aramaic. If you can tell me that the original concept in Aramaic also referred to something like whiffing at the bat kind of thing, instead of like an intentional act of badness, okay. But regardless, the Greek is not the root of sin. The Greeks did not write the Bible. What are you talking about? Anyway. So yeah, that was my TEDx today. Melted my brain a bit, but of course I didn't know what I was getting into, because usually I tackle concepts that are very political in nature and that kind of thing. But like the forgotten tradition of sin, I'm like, ooh, what's that mean? Anyway, so that was my YouTubing for today. Sunday, I plan on doing a follow-up to last Sunday's Sunday stream, where I will take a look at what are the steps one can take to institute affinity groups in your school if you're a teacher.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was last Sunday. It was like, I just want to promote affinity groups. Like, you know what you're promoting, don't you? You do. That's why you're couching your language on the whole thing. Anyway, Monkey, what have you been up to on YouTube lately?
Oh, let's see, on YouTube, mostly just Monkey in the Morning, whenever the hell I can do that. But I have been, the reason I was on my game stream things, because I've been transferring over my game videos from Twitch, and I was doing that earlier today and just hadn't switched back to my main profile. Been over there playing a shit ton of 7 Days to Die, trying to get a lot of content out for the game, because I just started the playthrough this week. But Mass Effect is releasing either in 2 hours or 12 hours. It's up in the air for us Steam users. But I'll either be playing Mass Effect tonight or tomorrow. So I had to get as much in as I could, and I'm just breaking that up and moving over. That's all I've been up to.
That's the remastered edition, right?
The remastered Legendary Edition.
Is that just the first game, or is it all 3 games?
It's all 3, and there's a launcher for all 3 of the games all in one. Mostly it's just a graphical enhancement, but I was going to play the game anyway. Right about the time they announced this, I was like, all right, we're going to play it. And I'm like, shit, we'll just wait. So I've been waiting for this for months.
Now I've seen...
I can't do it. Let me play.
I've seen... now I'll confess, I have never played Mass Effect except for like 5... Well, here's the thing. So years and years and years ago, a friend of mine bought me the game for my birthday back then, right? And the problem was... my computer at the time had no ability to run that thing because on PC, I guess the PC port was really chunky, and it was really chunky for me. I couldn't run it. So I kind of set it aside, and somewhere in the course of moving or whatever, I lost my copy. So I played about maybe 5 minutes of a very, very unable to play game, but I never got around to playing it at all. So I'm completely blank on it. However, this all leading up to, I've seen a couple of videos, preview videos that have been comparing the graphical enhancements. And there's been, as far as I could tell, some pluses and some minuses. Some people thought that the enhancements actually detracted from some of the characters or things as previous. And I didn't know if you'd seen any of that stuff so far.
I've stayed completely away from it. Because I just want to go into it. Mass Effect is one of my favorite series of all times until they made Andromeda.
Well, I can tell you one thing about Monkey. He does not like to listen to people make pointless complaints about games.
Oh, okay, nope. No, I got it.
I'll play the game, and then I'll probably start watching things like that. And I saw Angry Joe is already planning a video to tear it apart. I'm like, what?
Well, he's got to maintain his whole thing,
I'm going into this expecting to play Mass Effect. I don't give much of a damn unless they make it so ugly that it's unplayable. Like, shut the fuck up. I want to go play this game I really, really loved. So
yeah, every time that somebody says they're going to release a remaster or something, in my mind's eye, I kind of say, as long as it's an Empire Strikes Back remaster and not a New Hope remaster, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know exactly.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know out there, so when they did the special edition re-release of the Star Wars trilogy back in the 90s, this is a prelude to Phantom Menace and all that. All 3 movies, they added and enhanced some things. And the 2 movies that had the most addings and enhancements or changes were New Hope and Return of the Jedi. And some of the additions were... harmless, I guess. I could go shot by shot, but I'm not going to. Some of them were outright ridiculous, ugly, unnecessary, and so on. Jabba the Hutt and so on. Yeah, go ahead.
Like when you first get to Mos Eisley and you see the extra animals in the background, they're unnecessary, but I don't really care.
Yeah,
but when you throw in a singing segment, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
Yeah, the singing thing in Return of the Jedi was unnecessary. Changing out the closing song in Return of the Jedi was really disappointing. Adding all of the where things are like, because they kind of... Whoa, who's that?
Shh, be quiet.
Okay, that's you. So the weird thing was in Return of the Jedi, and this came out before Phantom Menace, at the very end, they showed one of the celebration scenes in Coruscant, which to that point had never been seen on film before, but it was kind of a weird preview for what they were going to be showing us in the Phantom Menace, which hadn't come out yet. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, getting to the point, of all 3 films, the one that had the least treatment, but had the enhancements that were there actually made things better, was Empire Strikes Back, because the most that they did was they added a little extra to where they're flying into Cloud City. And they changed some of the nondescript windows in Cloud City to actual views of the city itself.
Yeah, but before it was actually just a metal wall, and they actually put windows in there, so it looked really cool.
And so anyway, what I was getting to, there's an analogy, is that when I hear about a remaster, I want something that maintains everything about the original without rearranging all the furniture, and at most extends or adds on to things that were already good. That's it. And just leave everything alone. And so when they're talking about a Knights of the Old Republic reissue, but they're going to be changing some things, I'm like, oh no, don't do it. I can only imagine what they think is persona non grata now, or what doesn't fit in with the new trilogy and all that kind of thing.
It's going to be a gotcha game.
Yeah. Oh, God. Jamie or Jaime, I don't know. Villarreal, happy anniversary, Scribe. Well, it's a kind of anniversary.
Did you say Jaime?
You said Jaime.
I don't know. It can be pronounced either way.
Can it?
There's a guy. Here. No, there was a kid in my school who had that same spelling and it was pronounced that way. So I'm just making sure. I'm just covering my bases.
Did his parents hate him though?
I don't know.
That's an important question.
I mean, Jay.
I seem to recall Jesse Jackson saying Jaime and it being a problem.
Yeah, well, yes, but again, never mind. This is me trying to play it safe, and obviously, you guys are just going to make fun of me. So,
of course.
Let's see. Because on Mother's Day last week, I sent my mother a bouquet of flowers, of course. And when I called up to order them, the lady said, "Would you like anything on the card?" And I said, "Yes. I'd like it to say thank you for 36 hours of labor." And I paused. There's this long pause, and she said, "Did you want a name on that?" And I said, "Oh no, she'll know who it is." Because if it wasn't already obvious, and then of course my sister was delivered by C-section, so I was the one that took the longest. But let's see. Jamie says it is the latter. Thanks, Satsu. Okay, I'm just making sure. Like I say, anybody who's watched any of my shows with TEDx and everything, if a name comes up on chat and I don't know how to say it, I will attempt several different ways to make sure I kind of try to get it right.
Wasn't the latter Jaime?
Oh, was it? I don't remember which one I said
first.
Did I say Jamie first?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well then. Well then, if so, I'm vindicated. So fuck you.
Are you trying to steal my name fucking up shtick? What the fuck?
No. I've been doing that for the longest time.
God damn.
Like there's Birgid or Brigid or something, and I keep messing that up when she shows up on the channel, and of course some Nom Nation I always screw up, so I just gave up on trying.
Look, Jaime, I had you back. I saw what you were saying.
Okay, well, see,
he only liked it when it was in the Jesse Jackson sense.
I wasn't wrong to try to diversify my pronunciations.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. Neener. Let's see. How I know Jamie equals Jaime. Jamie. Oh, yeah. Well, there's that too. Yeah, the I comes before the E. The M. Sorry. And yeah. See, I knew it. I get it right.
Jaime, I'd be calling you Jamie because that's what I do.
Monkey, I need a granddaughter report. I haven't heard about the little monkeys in so long. I didn't know what's going on with them.
Oh dear God, little butt's getting big, so big and so just grown up. And I got to go see her. My little butt has this phone. It's my daughter's phone. It's not hooked up to the internet or anything, but it still plays all the games she had downloaded on it. And she left it at my house. And they were going to come up one weekend, but my daughter ended up having to work on Sunday, so they just couldn't. And my wife's like, I'm going to end up having to drive that down there. I'm like, I can't take that trip. But then they decided instead they were going to meet up and do some shopping for the girls. And it was a much shorter trip, so I got to go down, and they didn't tell little but I was coming.
Oh.
And she saw me, and her face just lit up like heart meltingly lit up. And she sees her grandma. Her grandma helps get her out of the car, and she gives her a little kind of nudge, and she just keeps walking towards me the whole time. And I pick her up, and she gave me the biggest old hug you ever did see. Like, I miss you so much. Pumpkin. She's getting big and funny. That girl just likes to laugh and do crazy shit all the time. And then the littlest one, I I don't even know how to describe her.
Hmm?
She is her own little person. She likes to just sit and read, and they just got a dog the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and they're having to teach her not to chew on the dog bone
Okay.
because the girl likes to eat. You have to stop her from eating. She likes to eat constantly.
Oh my
Mhm.
God, that is Aaliyah right now. I'm just like, girl, like, is there an end? Is there a time where you're not hungry? And she just looks at me and she's like, eat. And I'm like, God damn it.
My son-in-law is the same way. He is very tall, very thin, and that boy can just eat. And he'll come over and he'll like have one serving, and we're like, dude, eat. We know you like to eat. And then he'll finish everything. I'm like, stop being so polite. Just fucking eat. Everybody had some. You're fine.
Yeah,
And
but
it
he
looks
waiting
like
for permission so he don't have to feel bad.
I know, right? No, don't do that shit. You've been around us long enough. And the little one seems that same way. You can just keep feeding her. I think we could actually make her pop if we tried. So you
That's
have to
how
feed her
Aaliyah
and then
is right now.
cut her off. Like, no more right now. But yeah, just they're just running around being little kids.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
she
glad.
was eating ramen earlier. She had a handful of noodles, just like a whole fistful of noodles, and she was just pulling one noodle out at a time.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, leave me alone. This is I got this.
She's savoring it. She's savoring it. That's what she's doing. Let's see. Do I have any fuckatry here? As we move on with the quasi format here. Let's see. Oh yeah, did you see the pictures of the new He-Man cartoon that's coming out?
Oh God, no.
So it's the Kevin Smith version, and the animation. I mean, it looks really good. At least visibly speaking. I don't know how the content is going to be, obviously, except for the fact that Tila and Evelyn, as I put on to Twitter today and got a laugh from Andre over at Midnight's Edge, I said, I think those two might have been members of the East German Olympic swim team. They look like Abby from Last of Us 2.
Nice.
They are feminine in facial features kind of only, and it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, the sorceress, she looks like a woman. But yeah, Tila and Evelyn don't look so much great. But I mean, the animation, the art style, and everything else, it looks very updated, very cool, sort of American anime kind of thing. Orko looks quasi sinister, though. I'm not quite sure about that one, but I guess we'll find out.
At least it's not Cal art.
No, and it's not Thundercats Go or anything like that bullshit. So thankfully, no. What else is going on in the wonderful world? Oh yeah, reminder for those of you that don't know, Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific, Irate Prostate will be doing an interview with Senior Staff Reporter and Chief Florida Correspondent Colleen Bernier. So go check that out on Irate Prostate's channel. I don't have
Irate, if you're still in chat, remind me that day so I'll help to promote that thing. I just have a bad memory.
Yeah, if you already have a show link up, or at least put your channel link in the chat because I don't have it in front of me. Let's see, we talked about the TEDx thing. Oh yeah, this story from IGN. The headline was, Amazon says its Lords of the Ring prequel series needs to appeal to a giant global audience. Because Lord of the Rings is a very niche property that only a few people know about.
It needs to appeal to nerds. Get it right, dummies.
And I said, well, I mean, you only have a giant bank of source material that has been globally beloved by a giant audience for the better part of a century to draw from. What could possibly go wrong? I got a feeling that, and now I am not some big Tolkien fan. I actually have never read Lord of the Rings. I've never read The Hobbit. I know I'm a sinner. Speaking of sinning, but I understand from many friends and just fantasy genre in general, just how popular and how beloved that all is, and the likelihood that they're going to take some we're just going to tell a story that's drawing from the source material, but not actually telling specific stories, and not have it be an absolute disaster to begin with. I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to crash and burn. I don't know about anybody else, but I just hope it's not as bad as like new Star Wars for the people that are actually fans of that stuff.
Unless it's really, really good. I feel like they probably missed their timing on this.
They're a few years late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without something else to sort of bolster it or something, or maybe I don't know if I don't think he is, but unless it has the blessing of Peter Jackson or something, or some involvement thereof, I don't know if fans are going to be quite that quick to it. But given the amount of money they spent on it, boy, they better get their bang for their buck, because Amazon sure as hell can't make a video game. I don't know if they can make a Lord of the Rings series. Anything else going on? Otherwise in entertainment news, there was this James McAvoy and Sharon Horgan, who I don't know who that is, star in the first look at Stephen Daldry's Together. The film follows a couple who are forced to reevaluate themselves and their relationship during the entire UK COVID-19 lockdown. And I just said, escapism, jazz hands.
Yeah.
Because what everybody really wants to do when they watch a movie or go to the theater is watch people stuck in a COVID lockdown. Right? Am I right? Yeah. Anyway, and the other big thing, I wish I could, I don't have the ability to bring this up right now, but there's an exchange that apparently happened on Twitter between JRandom User and the Wingstop corporate account.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw something earlier.
I'm going to read this in its entirety. So Kay, the female of this exchange, says, Wingstop Ranch gotta have nut in it. No way it's just that good. Wingstop says, it's a special white sauce, but it does not contain nut emoji. K. LMFA. Oh, Wingstop, you gotta chill for real. Wingstop, you brought it up. K. Are we flirting right now? Wingstop, are we? Googly eyes. K. You close to Texas? Wingstop. Headquarters is in Dallas, so yeah. K. I'm 3 hours away. Be there soon. Breaded or naked? Wingstop. Breaded is great because of boneless wings, but bone in sounds like a better option. So the latter? K. God, I need you in me. Wingstop.
Hell am I listening to?
Wingstop. All you have to do is open your mouth. K, you're a little freak. Anyways, let's move this to the DMs. Wingstop. DMs are open. And Willie comes in and says, nigga, you are a company.
Perfect.
And that was it's the end.
That's
and
exactly how that should end.
You know what's so funny?
What's that?
Is I was thinking those exact words.
Right. When I read that, I was like, this is the greatest story ever told. This is right up there with the 10 Commandments at this point.
Hey, Wingstop is wilding.
I know. I was like, damn. Anyway, I mean, carrying a joke, I get it. But okay, first off, Wingstop should not apologize.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no.
They are going to. Someone is going to. Someone in corporate and legal is going to go, no! And they're going to run and they're going to put out an apology. And yeah, so. And as far as I know, this is not a mock-up. This is not some kind of, this is actually the exchange that occurred. If this turns out to have been some long-form Photoshop hoax, I don't care. It's still fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's quality right there.
So yeah, that's for what it is worth. That is my fuckatry for today. Satsu, do you have any fuckatry?
Not that can top that. I really got shit. Hold on, let me pop over to Facebook though, real quick, just in case, because sometimes I get I saw something rears its ugly head over on Facebook.
Monkey, in the meantime, anything jump out at you today?
Just with the new CDC recommendations that came out.
Yeah, did you see Biden's tweet on that?
Oh God, yeah. Was it you have a choice, get vaccinated or wear a mask?
Yeah, it's that simple.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm vaccinated, fully vaccinated. I'm all set to go. but this whole thing. But Virginia has been one of the most locked down states, and they've said, well, we're just following CDC guidelines, and the CDC guidelines came out. And they're like, well, we're going to review what they said and continue to follow what they say. Like, they released them. We know what they say.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of people who are just freaking out about this. I'm still going to wear my mask. And this one person even said, can we get a law so we can wear masks? Nobody's stopping you.
I saw one that said, I'm still going to wear a mask in solidarity with those that, and I was like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, this was... I just saw, apparently it was 6 hours ago, Biden said, if you see somebody with a mask, please treat them with kindness and respect.
Oh, God.
The same kindness and respect you treated people without masks?
Mm-hmm. We read a story the other night where some lady was talking about she had just left her house in Staten Island or was it Long Island? Either way, for the first time in a year.
Wow.
And she was getting harassed for wearing a mask. And I was like, who the hell is harassing you for wearing a mask? When you go to any place, they require you to wear it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
People not wearing masks are the ones that get all the beef lately, or for the last year. So, all the criticism I get for wearing that, you're not being, give me a break.
Oh, yeah. And the article we read that said, people aren't addicted to wearing masks. They're just traumatized. And it was this whole story about how America is just traumatized. And some people are so terrified at the very thought of being around other humans. And we need to make sure we coddle them and make sure they feel better about it.
What happened to trust the science?
Yeah, exactly. They fuck the science.
Trust the experts.
There are people literally coming out saying, no, fuck that shit. Don't listen to them. And I'm like, but you were just saying.
Just last week, bitch. Somebody mentioned in chat the Lawrence Southern Hunter Avalon debate. I will go over more of that on Monkey in the Morning, but dear Christ, that fucking physically hurt me. That caused me physical pain. Maybe that's what's wrong with my fucking back.
Yeah, I can't do those things anymore. The fucking debates and shit. I can't fucking do it.
I don't mind him. I watch a lot of Destiny's debates. I actually enjoy his debates. But this was Hunter Avalon doing a Vosh imitation who does a really bad Destiny imitation. So it's an imitation of an imitation. And it was just like, please stop.
Was it moderated at all?
No.
Okay.
Well, kind of. Hunter moderated it.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go over that on Monkey in the Morning later, guys.
Yeah, I'm okay with just two people yapping at each other on YouTube and just being loud. It's like, I guess it depends on the personalities involved, but usually it's like, if it's an actual, even an attempt, even a poor attempt at a moderated discussion or debate, that is generally more interesting to me, because then maybe there's something worth talking about. But just people coming on to beef with each other, do internet blood sports light or something, I don't know.
Well, that's part of why I like Destiny's, is because he doesn't do that shit anymore.
Okay.
For the most part, he has just conversations, and he'll let people speak. And there are times when the other person just gets so much time because he's trying to be calmer about how he does things. I don't agree with Destiny on pretty much anything except capitalism, but I enjoy watching the content he does. The others, it's like, oh, please shut up, please.
Holy cats. Chatmort, thank you so much. Happy birthday. You're the best. Oh, thank you, Chatmort. You want to come on for a minute or three?
You the best.
You're the best around. Everything's... No, I'm going to keep myself down.
Oh, God, I forgot about the Futa thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one thing I saw on Twitter where there was a new program or something coming out, and the acronym for it was FUTA. And it was normal people seeing that, and they're just like, I don't get it. And it was weebs seeing that, and they're like, yeah, we know what you're talking about. And I had asked Squishy. She was like, I don't get it. And then she paused for a minute. She was like, oh. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, is that why Stunlock liked it? And I'm like, yep. I was like, yeah, you knew if Stunlock liked it, there was a penis involved. So, yeah, I'm just like, they don't know, but they gonna learn. Oh my God. Go away. I didn't do it.
Uh-oh. Chatmore says, I'm really drunk. I better not. Oh, that's the best time that's the best time to come on. What are you talking about? Okay, well, whatever you like, my dear. Thank you so much. Let's see, I forget where we are. Did you have any Fucketry Satsu?
Nah, that somebody brought up the Futa thing. That was pretty much the only thing I've seen that was noteworthy.
Okay, well then we're a little late, but we'll move it on to the wonderful world of question time. So guys, if you have comments, questions, complaints, concerns, conspiracy theories, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, ask your friendly neighborhood chat partner, and they will tell you because they're friendly. And if you have questions for Monkey, we'll put those in there too because he's here now. Motto Winter, oh lords, would you all try wood grilled chicken on a bed of brown rice, okay, steamed broccoli and carrots, and a wooden chalice of British tea? I don't know what British tea is exactly, but everything sounds good.
Yorkshire tea, boy.
It's pretentious is what it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't drink out of wood.
Oh, that can go a couple of ways. Happy B-Day. May your cup floweth over with puppies. I don't drink puppies.
I would hope not.
I appreciate. I don't know if I appreciate the sentiment. Anyway. Dr. Keeve, would you like me to come on next year? Sure. You didn't hear it, did you, Monkey? Keeve saying happy birthday to me on a YouTube video she posted.
And it was excellent.
Sweet.
I should play it again. I'll just have to.
Yeah, play it for the outro instead of the outro.
I'll see if I can manage that. I'll have to do a couple of things here. While I do that, Satsu, you can take a couple of questions.
Hell no. All right. No.
Okay. I might be able to arrange the whole outro thing. Give me a second. Yeah.
Let's see here. Balls or no balls? What is the context behind that question? I need more context.
In almost every context, I'm going no balls unless I'm playing a sport.
I mean, that could mean so many things. Check Your Logic says, isn't Dr. Keefe coming on for a minute or three? No. I think the plan was for them to sing, and Scribe was supposed to share it in that instance. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, my assumption was I was going to give Keeve the link, and she was going to come on and sing. But before the show even started, she posted the YouTube video, and I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, either way, I'm fine with either. So,
well, I mean, you want a link?
Whatever is most comfortable for Dr. Keeve, because I can understand, being in public and stuff. Some people aren't up on that. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Let's see. Sibo, Futaballs. You were talking about that one, yeah.
Oh, Futaballs or no balls.
Right.
That's what it was.
Oh.
I thought it was. I just said balls or no balls. I didn't even see the I'm just like, what? I didn't even see the Futa for some reason. Neither.
Okay. Let's see. Arid Prostate. How excited are you to hear Colleen Bernier's interview on my Sunday afternoon interview show, Ice Cream? Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask the people when I announced it earlier. And we need a link, at least to your channel, if not to the show itself, because I don't have it in front of me. So post that in the... oh, wait. You can't post it without having a wrench, can you?
Yeah, you have to bestow upon him the power of the Scribe.
Okay, we'll try it now. Jim Helis, will the spike in gas prices reduce the number of Molotov cocktails and riots? One can only hope.
Or at the very least, it'll concentrate them into one particular location.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm moving things around here real quick. Attack Alpaca. If you were sentenced to 20 years in prison, what would you do to make the best of the situation? Which prison?
Which prison?
Yeah, just which one? Because there's depends on the prison. I mean, if it's like, country club time, but if it's like, San Quentin or something, that's a whole other deal.
Well, any of the smart people I know who did something to go to jail for a substantial amount of time came out with a fucking degree. So
that's the smart way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Use the time to broaden your horizons. There you go. Let's see. Did I miss some questions or such? We did that one. We did that one. So I guess I've done all the questions at this point. No more questions.
Ask question, bitches.
So
Yeah,
now
gotta
it's just
be-
party time.
Party, pizza party.
I got a question, Monkey. Have you been paying attention to any of the new Resident Evil stuff?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've because I just kind of sat down and was like, you know what, I'm not gonna buy this game, even though there's no bad reason. It wasn't like I didn't want to play it or something, but I'm just like, I don't, because school's starting and all kinds of shit. I got so much stuff going on, and plus I kind of stopped doing my gaming stream. I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna pick one of my favorite YouTubers and watch them play it. It's looking pretty fucking good, man.
This is 8, right?
Yeah, Village.
Yeah.
Village. They did a pretty good job.
Yeah. I saw when it first launched, and there were people who had some issues with it because there's always some jackass that's got an issue somewhere.
Of course.
And I read a little bit about it, but I haven't followed any, haven't seen any gameplay or any of that.
Yeah, they basically continued the story from 7. Well, literally continue the story from 7. So you're still playing with Ethan and the mold chick or whatever, and I like the story. It seemed like it was kind of a mix. They wanted the best of all worlds, so they were just like, we're going to satisfy the horror people, we're going to satisfy the action people, but they didn't do it like 6 did, where they were just like, we're just going to clusterfuck the whole thing. Like it seemed to be, it seemed to be structured, because 6 was a fucking mess. Yeah. So
thank you, Ebony Williams. Fun fact for the birthday boy: the state gem of Washington is petrified wood. That is some kind of gem. I didn't know that was like state gems. I know state flower, state bird, that kind of thing. Do states have? I guess states have gems too.
I guess so. Speaking of which, recently, for God knows why, I watched like a 40-minute video of this dude trying to make transparent wood.
Oh, I think I saw a thumbnail for that, and I stayed away from it because I didn't care.
Well, I was just like, I didn't know this was a thing. I'm going to watch it. So I did, and I was like, oh.
The ones that I keep getting recommended now, and I've only watched one just because I was morbidly curious. There's, and of course, you can make a video series out of anything. There's some like Polish professional carpet cleaner guy who's got like this camera on the ceiling, and it looks down as he's doing this major. I guess it's supposed to be like soothing because it's got like this sort of soft music playing. You just watch him as he, takes these antique but super dirty rugs and just like goes through his major process of, hosing them down, putting on the soap, using these super duper like spinning brush cleaners on them, and then he takes a big squeegee and pushes out all the dirty water in the soap, and then he does it like 2 or 3 different times, and ta-da, it's a clean. And then he cyclone dries the thing in some kind of like tube machine, and then you go to before and after. And before it was this dingy thing, and now it's just bright and it's all clean. And that's a thing, I guess, that people will watch.
Dude, that is the type of shit that I will like. I'll be watching a video and forget to like pause it, or it'll continue, and that shit will be on, and I'll be like, well, this is happening for the next 3 hours.
Yeah. But I've been watching mostly like for binging things. It's been police body cam stuff, because there's a couple of channels out there that have just been putting out a lot of content lately. And watching some of that stuff, I used to watch, still do when we get together, Cops with my dad, and he used to be a cop, and so watching like cop police activity stuff has always been kind of part of our family tradition. So when I see that, I can't help but watch it to see what's going on. And some of that stuff is just crazy, obviously. It's Yamato Winter. Oh, Lords, Jolly Green Giant, Tony the Tiger, or Charlie the Tuna? Bronze statue. Oh, a bronze statue of one of the 3? I'd go for the... Oh, I don't know. Jolly Green Giant would look really cool, but I'm partial to Tony the Tiger.
Probably Tony the Tiger, yeah.
Let's see. Attack Alpaca. Why does Satsu hate statements so much?
You really want to hear the statement backstory? Because we ain't got time for it.
I really don't. Sean Uli and a couple other people said Mad Lib. I should have prepared a birthday Mad Lib or something, but it didn't occur to me. Surprisingly enough, But even if I had, I'd rather talk to Monkey than do a Mad Lib. So there you go.
Well, that's very kind of you.
I try. Let's see. Ari Prostate. Satsu, have you seen the Fly Swatter video, LMAO? I've seen a couple of, if you're talking about it, Resident Evil 8, I saw the Fly Swatter video, and I saw the first of what will probably be a zillion mods for the vampire lady where she's wearing practically nothing. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it is. There's already fucking Lady Dimitrescu porn. Like it's like they are not fucking.
Oh, have you seen the
around.
cosplaying? Have you seen the cosplays on
Oh,
Twitter?
dude, the cosplaying was happening before the game even dropped.
Well, there was one that was put out. Well, I don't know if it was put out today, but it was tweeted out today. What's her name? Something Fox or something. Anyway, damn.
Dude,
damn.
dude, I'm just like so much ass on my Twitter feed, and I'm okay with it.
Let's see. Dr. Hugh Scribe, you can send me the link if you'd like. Oh, okay. Well, we can do that too. I have the video ready for the outro, but we can do that. Okay, hold on. Let me get back over there and see if I can. Let's see. If you want to pop on real quick, and I think your DMs are open. Yeah. Okay. So here. Oh, no, don't click on that. Click on this. There we go. Okay. Well, if you can make it, we give it a couple minutes here. Let's see. Circa Zero, where did the statement touch you, Satsu? Yeah, tell us on the doll where the statement touched you.
I can't disclose
In the booty.
that information.
Oh my God. Any other questions here? Oh, here we go. Cannibalistic Wizard, jerked chicken enchilada. That sounds dirty. Mexican cheese-filled jalapenos. You spelled jalapenos wrong. Wrapped with bacon, breaded and fried. Chocolate churros. You spelled that wrong too. With a caramel drizzle and tequila without the worm. Spelled tequila wrong.
Are you trying to give people diabetes?
Yeah, exactly. That too. That might be a bit too much for my my delicate constitution.
That's going to give you diabetes and diarrhea at the same time.
Yeah.
You might just die.
You're getting the diabetes.
Diabetes.
Well, at least you're not a fecal mancer.
But yeah, I like that shit.
It's a Keever Dam.
Hello.
Hi there.
Oh, how are you?
Hello.
Thank you so much for the birthday song.
You're very welcome.
So I can either play it as an outro, which I have ready, but or if you'd like, you can sing once more before we go out.
Okay.
Up to you.
I can sing again.
Or you can just hang out with us for a few minutes, whichever you prefer.
Wait,
All right.
excuse me. I was not offered the chance to sing again.
Y'all can do a duet.
There you go. And Satsu.
No,
can do
now
his
my
usual-
feelings are hurt.
Wait,
You ain't got no feelings,
I was
man.
about to say, you know.
No, that's you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, duet me. We used to duet everybody else, so it's my turn.
Duet me. That sounds like
I bet you didn't know you were invited to that kind of stream, did you?
Stream.
Oh,
my wife doesn't let me duet people.
it's
Well,
against our religion.
if you two want to sing together for my
sin.
birthday, I won't argue.
No, now my feelings is hurt, man.
Shut up.
I'll sing with you.
Oh, I know you would because you're a nice person. He's like, oh, the only song I care about is the one that actually sounded good. I'm hurt.
Proceed.
Who's gonna do the shoobop me or what?
No, you singing. I'm gonna do the mid commentary.
All right.
All right, Monkey, take it away.
This is against my religion, but since it's your birthday, you're mean to me. I'm gonna sing to you again. This one's for you, Scribe, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday, motherfucker.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to
to you.
Happy birthday, motherfucker.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear Scribble.
dear Scribbles.
Happy fucking birthday, dude. Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to you.
to you.
Even though you were mean to me.
Yay! Thank you guys so much. Oh, I'm all a Twitter, so to speak.
Now he's
I feel
lightheaded
dirty.
and blushing.
Yeah, well, take a bath or something. Anyway, by the time we get to the end of this, we'll be at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. Everyone, thank you so much. for coming out tonight to celebrate. I really do appreciate it. I'm very humbled by everybody, especially having Kiever Dam and Monkey on, singing to me and just visiting. Thank you so much. Anybody want to plug anything that they're up to in the next day or whatever? Or Monkey got something coming up after tonight?
I have. I'm sure I'll do Monkey in the morning sometime real soon, hoping that my game launches. Although I'm sure that it won't. And then a game eventually. I do stuff at night.
Okay, presumably something legal.
Usually.
Okay, Kiever Dam, do you have anything you'd like to plug or pitch?
Once in a while, I'll stream, and maybe I do birthday songs, of course. So if anyone has a birthday out there, I'd be happy to sing for you.
Okay, well, be sure to put. I don't have it in front of me. Put your channel link in the chat so people have that too. And Satsu, you doing anything after this?
Nothing after this. Just be looking out for a couple videos to come out tomorrow.
Alrighty. Well, remember, guys, if you want to catch us again for our last show of the week, at least, that'll be tomorrow night on Satsu's channel at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Lords of the Night. But that all being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate it. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone is so well behaved. You have very little to do. And everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. I'm probably going to use some of it to spoil my sister because she deserves it as well, and that'll be coming up soon enough. But Satsu, thank you for joining me as always. Kiever Dam, thank you so much for the singing and coming on and joining us.
You're very welcome.
Monkey, so nice to see you after so long. It's so nice to have you back on for a little while.
Pleasure to talk with you guys.
Glad you're doing well. Everyone, your lives make us sad. And we will see you tomorrow.
Fuck off.
Bye.
See you later.
And taking out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism. And today's secret word is swing.
Animus.
Bada bada. Swing bada bada.